Welcome to the North, to an archipelago that is unique in many ways and also far less known than it deserves. This world of islands forms a frontier in which the flora and fauna of the Arctic meet that of the South. Welcome to the Norrbotten archipelago. If you come along European Highway E4 from the south, you'll meet the sea at Gävle, and from there you can start your journey out to the Piteå archipelago. The whole Norrbotten archipelago covers a distance of 90 nautical miles from Piteå to Haparanda, 400 large islands and countless small ones. The islands come to life in the summer. For many islanders, summer means those weeks out on an island of their own. And the people who live here are certainly individualists. Many of the islands here have mazes like this, a so far unsolved mystery. No one is quite sure why they were once made. The number rock on Storeben shows the unusually rapid rise of the land. The water line has been marked here since the middle of the 18th century. Here you can see how the land has risen almost a meter in 100 years. But let's visit one of the better known outer islands. We land at Mälaren, a name familiar to many Swedes from radio weather reports which used to include it. Today, Mälaren is also a summer island, the last outpost in the Kalix archipelago. For this young man, Mälaren will always signify summer, or vice versa. This lighthouse is on Rödkallen, another familiar name in Sweden. This is a pilot station where the boats come from the south to the port of Luleå to offload cargo or load iron ore. If you want a thrilling example of concentrated Norrbotten archipelago, set course for Haparanda Sandskäri, the island described by writer Stein Selander as having a virgin Arctic beauty all its own, already remembered as half unreal, rocking on the summer sea in a Nordic odyssey. Hindersjön Island in the Luleå archipelago is one of the few islands which still have a year-round population. Once over 200 people lived here. Today there are about 20. But in the summer, Hindersjön comes to life again. Luleå is said to be one of Sweden's major cities for leisure craft, and summer activities out in the islands are intensive. For a few weeks, a floating store provides the summer guests with fresh food and newspapers, following a set timetable. Fishing is still a local industry. In early summer, salmon is the most important catch. For many people, local salmon at midsummer is a must. In autumn, whitefish roe is a delicacy. A blend of old and new, an archipelago where the islands come to life as soon as you can get there by boat. And natural for the boating life. The water is still clean, it's not salty, and there are no currents. The wind is rarely strong. The sea breeze always comes from the southeast or south and reaches 7 to 8 meters per second at the most. In some years, there's a Gulf of Bothnia rally. An armada of motorboats and sailboats sail from Sweden to Finland, or vice versa. But you can go the other way alone if you want. The whole area is ideal for competitions. The World Championships for OK Dinghies was held here, the most northerly location for this event ever. And participants from more southern climes were fascinated by everything, especially the light summer nights. Even though boating life is intensive during the weeks of summer, there's usually enough harbor space for everybody. There are a number of marinas, both at the cities along the coast and farther out among the islands. This is the South Harbour in Luleå with an impressive fleet of leisure craft and, of course, a guest marina. But if you prefer a small, cozy harbour, there are lots to choose from, such as Kuviken in the Kalix archipelago. Sun and swimming. The Norrbotten archipelago is a low, modest world of islands, with sandbanks and moraine ridges which cause boaters some problems, but make wonderful swimming beaches, often with surprisingly high water temperatures. Today, the Piteå beach is famous throughout Sweden. There are also smaller bathing areas, such as Fredisören outside Kalix. You can easily find an inlet of your own. In Haparanda, a tourist can rent a boat and fishing tackle. No license is needed, and it's easy to get your dinner. But apparently we're tired of fish. Naturally, there are other ways of arranging dinner, and how nice after a week in the boat.
Skönt att få äta en riktig middag när man var ute i båten. Det tycker jag vi ska.
It's not all that easy to reach the Norrbotten archipelago. The area has not been exploited as many other archipelagos have. It requires a little extra effort from those who want to visit it. But it's well worth that effort. Welcome to Sweden. Welcome to the north. Welcome to the Norrbotten archipelago.